Okay, so we've got to make a start on these forks. Springs were already out when I got them, so I've just taken the top nut out and the clamp off the bottom there. So I have a 7/32 Allen key, which will go somewhere in there, and inside there, which you won't be able to see, right down the bottom here, there is a hex head on the end of the damper rod, I suppose you'd call it. The only thing I can find that actually fits it is a spark plug spanner, and I've got a long extension for that. Let's pass that down there in case that decides to start turning. I'll get a ratchet on the end. Right, so let's see if we can get this to move. And that is very, very tight. Oh, there we go. It's very, very tight, but yeah, that suddenly let go. Right. So that's a little Allen bolt in the bottom there, Allen screw. So now that was not required. I should be able to take this cap off there, which I've got some new ones of these. Well, that's got a little nick in that one. Probably could get away with reason, but they're starting to get a little bit perished, so might as well renew them. So this should now pull out like that. There's a little bit of oil dropping out there. I'll just tip that up. Right, so I'll just get this cleaned up in the paraffin, and that there's supposed to be a dirty washer on there, still down here. Well, not that I can see. It's probably why somebody did that up tight to stop it leaking, because there is no, as far as I can tell, there's a little bit of murk down there, a little bit of old oil, which doesn't smell very pleasant. But can't see a dirty washer down there. But I have got some new ones anyway, so it doesn't matter. I've also got some new drain screws and washers to go in, and new seals. And no need to remove the damper rod. So there's a nut here, aluminium nut, in the stanchion. I've just got it clamped in the yokes. I've not got this drawn right up into the taper. I've just got this clamped up here, hoping that will be tight enough. See how tight this is. I have got some new ones of these, so I'm not too worried if it gets a bit mauled. We'll see, try and get it off in one piece, or undamaged if we can. But I guess it's going to be tight. Oh no, it is moving, I think. Or is that the stanchion moving? Something's moving. See what it is. It might just be the stanchion spinning around. Yeah, that is. Right. Clean this up a bit more. I've actually got a proper pinch bolt in there. It's just an M8 I've got. Alright. I don't think I'll go much tighter than that. I might well have to draw it into the taper. Yeah, that's still spinning. Right, I'll just tighten that into that taper. Loosen this off again. I didn't really want to draw it into the taper because obviously I've got to knock it out again. So I've got new stanchions to go in here. This is all a bit wobbly. What we really want is a spare one of these. Get it in there, clamp it in the vise. Right, that feels like that's there. Tighten this up again. Every little bit helps. Right, let's give it another go. It's all a bit precarious here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, right, well, I can give this a proper clean up now. Yeah, you can't really give these any heat because there's inside there is a plastic, I don't know what you call it, slider, bush. Yeah, so if you give that any heat, that would melt if you were going to reuse these. But like I say, I'd get new ones anyway, so wouldn't have really mattered. Right, let's get this cleaned up, get the stanchion back out of there, and continue. Right, I just got that a quick rinse over. To clean this down further, I will just need to strip this lot back. That's O-ring on there, which again I've got new O-rings. Yeah, so the order that is on there, so that's spring and that threaded sleeve there, nut with the plastic inside, so that's how that goes on there. And there is a hex there, and this nut on the end. So let's see, I have a spanner fit that. I don't know what that is. This end 7/16 width, and I guess it's going to be tight. Yes, it is very tight. Probably don't really need to do this. It would be nice to clean it properly. But it doesn't want to come undone. everything else seems to be really, really tight. Around there. No, I am going to give up with that, I think. I think I will just give that another rinse down. Doesn't really need to come off, I suppose. Would have just been interesting. But yeah, I think that is just a sleeved nut with a conical end, this end. This is just an aluminium spacer with holes in. All part of the damping system. And there's another loose space at that end with holes in. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna try to undo that. There's not really much point. I might end up damaging something, which I don't want to do. So I think we'll leave that at that. Yeah, let's have a look at the oil seal. So this is quite interesting. So this is definitely a shoe or drum brake fork leg, which should have these type of seals in. Get them undone. Should have those in. However, this has got something completely different. And there is a bit of light on the subject. Not very good light. See in there, there is a rubber seal there, and this steel washer on the end. Which looks like it's very well jammed in there. I don't know whether that is a standard thing, or whether somebody has just pressed that in there, but to me it doesn't look like that would come out very easily. So how you remove these seals is anyone's guess, unless they just might be soft enough to ping out, I guess. But the only sort of reference I could find, let's just get this set up here. You're still thinking, yeah. Might actually be easier off the tripod. Right. So this is the drum brake type fork, and it's just got that seal there. Nothing else, just a seal. And there's all the other damping bits. You look at so this is a T140, or out of a T140 parts book, and here you can see there is a rubber seal, and I've had a look on, and it is similar, very similar to what's in there, just a rubber, thick rubber band really. A flat washer, possibly, and a circlip, but there is no circlip there, absolutely not. So I'm not too sure exactly what has gone on here. Don't really know if I want to try and prise that out of there. Obviously if that was going to come out, I would have thought that would have just come out before now without a without a circlip on it, but it does seem to be very, very tight in there. And the other one is the same, the other fork. So that is a bit of a mystery. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of investigation, see if there is another fork like this, whether that's a standard thing or whether that's what somebody has done. That is a very thick washer and all. It's probably about 4mm thick. So it's well pressed in there. Yes, interesting. So a little bit more investigation, I think. So I may not even be able to use these seals I've got here. I'll have to get these ones and then hope that that will prise out without removing this washer, or try and reuse them. I mean, they don't look particularly damaged. Might just have to try and make sure they're really, really clean. Yeah, so further investigation required. Right, fork seal mystery solved. Well, sort of. This is out of a 78 T140 parts book, and right there, under one part number, is a fork seal and a large washer. No circlip. Yeah, so apparently 1978-79 they used these, just used a large, like this, thick press-in washer to retain these what they call leak-free seals. Yeah, so that seemed, well, sort of solves it, because obviously these are disc brake forks and these are not. So I think somebody has retrofitted these T140 1978-79 seals. Right, so, and apparently these are better than these ones. They actually last longer. So what I might do for now, as the guy I bought these from said these don't leak anyway, I might just leave these seals in here, just clean them up a little bit more, a little bit crusty around the top there. Yeah, clean them up and reassemble with the new stanchions and O-rings and everything else. And if they do then leak at any time, at least I know what seals I need to get, which of these are soft rubber. I think you are supposed to be able to, or you can, kind of prise these out of here and replace new ones without removing the washer. Because to me that is a very tight fit in there, and I'm sure if you try to remove that, I'm sure that would cause a bit of damage. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do to start with. Try it as it is. If they don't leak, leave well alone. If they do, get some of these type of seals and replace them. Yeah, so next thing will just be putting things back together. Right, I think the best way to reassemble is probably to put the stanchion in first, which I've done. I have tightened this right down, but I've now loosened it back off again, because obviously I've got to get the damper and everything, the spring and everything back in. And just to minimise scratching of the new stanchion, just wedge this with a screwdriver, so that can come out now. And I'll put the pinch bolt in, and I think probably, should I put both stanchions in or one at a time? one at a time, I think. Probably the best way, minimise any damage. Yeah, so that's basically the first part. Ready to go. Right, so for now I'll just put the pinch bolt in. I won't put the headlight, some other bits that go on the front of the pinch bolt for the headlight bracket, headlight wire. So pinch bolt, flat washer, and lock nut, and that's these lock nuts like that. Right, so I will knit that up, and I'll be ready to then insert everything. So I've got some new drain screws in there and new aluminium washers. I've also got, no, I said I weren't going to, or that was going to be an option. I've got some new seals, so I might try and see if I can get those out of there, get the old ones out. I'm not too keen on trying to remove these knock-in washers, so I might see if I can do it without removing that. If not, they will have to come out. Yeah, they probably would be okay, but I've got these new ones, so we'll give them a go. Though they don't look quite as thick as the ones that are in there. Quite as thick that way. So yeah, we shall see. What else I got? So, oh yes, although I use this to stop that from rotating, although it didn't rotate in the end anyway. But what I did forget to say was there are a couple of slots in the end there, which if you have a long enough flat screwdriver with a wide enough bit on it, we could make a special tool, piece of bar or something with a flat in it. There are two flats there you could use instead of something on there, but that's by the by. Yeah, so I'm going to have a go at seeing if I can get these out. That washer on this one, let me just put some extra lighting on, dulling it down. It's absolutely chucking down out there. That's better. Right, yeah, this knock-in washer isn't as far in as this one. It's a bit more there. So I think what I'll do is have a go at getting this one out first, because there's a little bit more wiggle room. So I think possibly I might be able, if I can get behind it. And see if we can ping that out of there. I'm assuming that is the same as these. These are squishy. If not, I've always got the other seals. If these don't work, that doesn't seem to want to ping out. Will that move down at all? It might just be a bit frozen in there. Get a little bit of movement on it. Right, I have managed to free it off. Just managed to sort of loosen it a bit with the, it's obviously got a bit stuck in there, and then get the pick in there, and there we are. It does look pretty much, yeah, they ain't as thick as I thought it was. So it's pretty much the same as the replacement ones I got. So I've got something written on there. it's got some sort of number on there. GCI or 1-72-16, whatever that means. What these got on them? S74A. Yeah, not even close. Yeah, I did read that you can squeeze these in under there, so I might have a go at that first, see if I can do that. I want to try and clean up in here behind first though. If not, I'm going to have to figure out some way of pulling that out. I have got a bearing puller with a slide hammer, so that might pull that out. But like I say, I would rather not mess around with that unless I have to. So I'm going to have a go and see if I can squeeze this in first. I think if I get some fork oil on there just to make it a bit more slippery, I might be able to squeeze it in. So we'll have a go at that and see what happens. Well, that went better than expected actually. Yeah, just pinched it up, put plenty of fork oil on it just to lubricate, pinched up, squeezed it in and just manipulated it, and in she pops. So that is, I ain't got enough light on there to see that, but that is in there now. Feels like it's seated okay. So that's that one done, which was the easy one. This one, however, is going to be a bit tighter. So yeah, I might even have to try and pull this up a little bit. But yeah, we'll see how well I get on with getting the old one out first, and see if this will move up a little bit, because that is definitely further down than that one. Well, here we go again. That's the second one removed. However, you can see that this is much too far down. There's a witness mark in there, and side on, this has been pushed down too far, this piece here. So although it's probably working okay, that's not quite right, so I do need to try and lift this piece a little bit. So I think I'll get the bearing puller out and I'll try that first, see if we can just knock this up a little bit. Yeah, because I put the new one in, that's just going to do the same, if I can even get it in there in this gap, because that one was quite a good fit and that's near the top. So this is where's the old thingies? Let's get these. So on this one we are 1.3 mil. This one is 3.2 mil. So yeah, that's quite a bit further in. So I think I need to do something about that. Yeah, my bearing puller wasn't quite big enough, or I didn't have anything big enough to get in there, so I think this might work. This is just off a 3-jawed or puller, standard puller. Hooking that behind that washer. A little bit of aluminium. This is the tricky bit. Hold this in place and hit that without hitting your thumb. And that does seem to be working. It's a bit difficult, this camera here actually. Let's move that bit. I still see what's going on. yeah, really want a shorter piece of that angle. See, that is starting to come. It's not actually as tight as I thought that was going to be. So I probably could take it right out and get the seal in the easy way. And then repress this ring back in. Nearly out. Right, I'll probably have to just use the aluminium end on this now, I think, just to get the final bit. There we are. That actually was much easier than I thought that was going to be. So I can give this a proper clean up now, and that in there. Then I can put the seal in and then that back on. Right, well that wasn't as difficult as I thought. It's cleaned up in there. Much easier. It's a new seal. That side with those concertina bits in goes down. At least that's the way the old one came out anyway. Seat that down there, and what I've got to do now is just knock this washer back in, but not as far as the other one was originally. When you look at that, you think that's a really tight fit in there, but actually it's not tight at all. Right, so I'll just find a little drift. I can just knock that down to the same height as the other one over there, and that one will be done as well. So this was the damper rod, which I couldn't get undone, but I probably could have done if I'd really wrenched on it, but yeah, there's no point really, just to try and clean it up anymore. All that is in here is this small washer with these holes in, which goes on first, and this part here, which also got holes in. It's got a little channel in that side, and I can see from this one, which I didn't take apart, the channel is this end, flat side this end, and that screws on. Like that. And there's also an O-ring, which I've got new ones to go on, and then this nut goes on with this cone end that way, and you can see that slot that's in the end there a bit clearer now. So I can go on there. And I just need to get a spanner on that and tighten that up, and I'll be ready to go back in, well, once I've got the new O-ring on there. Oh, that's quite interesting. This new plug I've got is actually made of steel and has an aluminium bush in there, as opposed to an aluminium nut with a plastic bush inside. Well, I think it's plastic, feels like plastic anyway. Yeah, These are LF Harris parts, so I guess he has them made, because that is definitely the original one, which is aluminium. But never mind, we are ready to go now, so I will get this. Let's just have a little bit of oil in there, and a little bit of oil on the thread. Won't hurt. Right, so let's get that back in the stanchion, or in the new stanchion I should say. I've also put a little bit of fork oil on that new O-ring. Shot moving up. That way a bit, that way a bit. Right, that will do that. Right, so mustn't forget the new dopey washer. So I've just got this piece of brass rod, just going to thread that on there, pop it there and there, and hopefully that will, which it has, dropped into place. Right. Now, another thing we need to do is protect this seal from any, although that's not too bad because it's a brand new one, just protect it from any sharp edges. So I think what they recommend is a plastic bag over the bottom, but I'm going to try using a piece of this wax paper which came with these stanchions, see if that will work. But first of all, a little bit of fork oil in there, won't go amiss. Right, so what I need to do is kind of make a tube with this wax paper. Which is easier said than done when you try to balance it on your knee and try and keep it in shot. Something like that. I hope that's going to be slippery enough to allow that to slide on and protect that seal at the same time. So here it goes. It's actually quite a tight fit. It's going to work actually. Won't be too tight. Yes. I think this will pull out now. Now, let's try. No, that's because it's doubled over. Hang on, let's get off camera and try and get this a better. Right, let's try that. Yeah. So we should try and line it up. Got this thing in the way here. Can't get straight on it. We're still in shot. Yeah. Alright. Oh, that's better. Should be able to pull this paper out now. Oops. If not, that's going to be plan B. I can't see how that plastic bag trick is going to work, you know. This is just too tight. Yeah, that's just too tight to come off there. Unless that's trapping. So I've got that too far down. Let's try the other piece. Right, small piece of the stanchion grease-proof paper in there, just to try and protect the seal a bit. Let's get some oil on there. Should do it. Right. Just want to get it past that nut, that's all. Like that. I think now, hopefully, can wiggle. He says, hopefully, can wiggle this paper out. That does not want to. Do you know what? That's a silly idea. Let's just put it on. Shove it carefully. Yes. Yeah, that's a daft idea. Whoever come up with that one? Might work if you've got really worn seals. Right. So that's in there now. Let's get that up to meet that damper, and hopefully that dopey washer hasn't moved. And if we can actually see. In front of my eyes, that is. Yeah, that's still there. Right. So we can get that started. Doesn't feel like it's up far enough. Right. Feels like that's there. Working upside down. Oh, where are you? Right, that's turning in there. So we'll get the socket and the long extension. down the top here. Let's just move the camera. Right, I think that will do it. I'll leave the cap off for now because I will just get the oil in once the other one is on, once the other leg is in. We'll just drop the oil in the spring and it'll be there then. Right. Let's get the other leg in. And before I forget to mention it, I previously put on the dust seal up the top there, so that's ready to go over the top there. If not, you've got to take the stanchion right out again to do that. We don't want to be doing that. That's the second leg fitted. So I'll now get some oil in, some fork oil. I'm just going to use, simply because that's all I've got, that's been sitting on the shelf, some of this 530 fork oil. Didn't have enough of that 10. I'm just using this as a measuring jug really. Yeah, so I'll try it with the 530 first. Let's see how that goes. If it is too light, I can always change it, but I just want to get some oil in there for now, to make sure everything is lubricated. So I go up pouring this in. It's probably easier to do it from this side. So that's 190 millilitres in each leg. So I'll just let this drip. This is really exciting stuff. That's how it goes sometimes. I don't think we've got to be far off there. Right, so I can now get the one of the springs in, which I've got here. Either end, doesn't matter. Slide that in, don't make a big splash. To there. Right, now we have to get this cap on. Oil up these threads a bit, just make it a bit easier. Let's go in, because I've got to give this a little bit of pressure. Hopefully, if we catch a thread, then right. Get that one tightened down, and I'll do the same with that one. I just just pop these end caps on, just fit them loosely for now, just so they don't get mislaid. Interesting thing with these holes are closer together than these holes. They will only go on one way. So the close pair are the outside pair. These ones here. So they will only go on one way. Like that. So I'll just loosely fit these for now. If I can get the nut started. Let's try it that way around. That's better. Right, there we are. Nice pair of forks. Doesn't that just fill you with joy? Well, it does me. But perhaps I'm strange, I don't know. Yeah, coming on nicely anyway. I think next thing, probably staying with the front end, is going to be this front wheel, which, yeah, that is in a bit of a state. This is just flaking off, and this corrosion. So, and the rim has had it. So it's going to be new rim, new spokes, and try and do something with this. I think these are painted. I think they are probably painted. I don't think they're bare and polished or anything like that. So yeah, that'll be the next big job to do. And also need to get some shocks for the rear, and then we'll be somewhere close to a roan chassis. If I get some bars on there, I can then just move it about as I need to. Be nice to get a centre stand. I've just got on these blocks of wood at the moment. So yeah, not that great. But yeah, forks are looking well good. I'm quite happy with them.